What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Stephen Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel, the sports channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is you get around to watching us. Once again, guys, my name is Stephen Hyder, and this is Gate City Sports Channel. All right, y'all, today's topic. Listen, there's a guy I've been watching film of. I kind of, I low-key like this player, man. I think this is going to be a pretty good football player. But I'm going to be honest with you. He scares me with the Philadelphia Eagles because of how much we need speed on this football team and the lack of it. It does scare me to think of getting a big, lumbering, huge catch radius guy that doesn't gain a lot of separation from defenders when they're playing up in man or press on him. That part really does scare me about this project, but I got to tell you guys, to begin with, I think this young man was really misaligned in college. I think that the coaching staff that he played for did not understand what this young man was. I don't know why they opted to play this kid so much, aligned as a flanker instead of as a split end, because he was completely misaligned, but that's what they did. And I got to tell you, man, on the underneath and intermediate routes, if you need a big possession guy who's going to convert you for third downs, who's going to go on a first down and get you 7, 8, 10, 12 yards, this kind of guy, man, he's going to be good at that. Get him in the red zone, he's going to be a big target to throw to. I like this kid a lot, but I'm not going to lie. He's very much an Alshon Jeffrey-like. He's a big, lumbering guy. He doesn't run particularly well. He runs in a 4.6 range. That 4.6 does seem to show up on film. He doesn't look like a really quick guy to me. But at the same time, guys, I'm going to tell you, while he doesn't gain a lot of separation in tight windows, like when you're playing up on this young man, he doesn't gain that separation. This kid's catch window, he's got strong hands, man. He just kind of takes the ball away from people. If you haven't caught on who I'm talking about yet, guys, I'm talking about Isaiah Hodgins, wide receiver, Oregon State. I'm telling you guys, I don't know if he's the right fit in Philadelphia. I think you have to add speed guys around him. I don't think he can be your priority here. But if I'm a team and I was queuing in on a guy like let's just say you were targeting on your draft on like a T. Higgins and you missed on T. Higgins, I'm telling you, this is a kid I would go after. Because I don't think, I don't think he has the ability to separate that T. Higgins does. I think T. Higgins is deceptively better at separating what people think. But Isaiah Hodgins has that catch radius, man. His catch radius is tremendous. All right, y'all. Without further ado, let's roll into today's film study. Hey, Isaiah Hodgins, let's get to it. What I love most about this play, guys, is the ability to stay alive for your quarterback and get that catch. All right, ladies and gents. So let's talk about Isaiah Hodgins and positional alignment. Look, when I looked on the film and I watched this film, I'll say this. He did play in every single one of the alignments, wide receiver alignments. He played as a split end or an X. He played in the Ys as a slot receiver, and he played the Z as a flanker. Sorry, I don't know how to do the Z for my hands, guys. So he played all three positional alignments. The part that shocked me, guys, was that he played much more of the Z, the flanker role, than he did the split end role. And that was really surprising to me because he's not a flanker. A 10-yard out route, and that's a first down. Trying to make a double move into a fly route, he's out of bounds. A guy that runs a 4.61 and has that big lumbering, kind of size to him, he's just not a fit for a flanker. Like, I understand using him here and there to play that role, but as constantly as they were using him at Oregon State, it just led me to believe that this is an organization and a coaching staff that it has no clue what it's doing. A jet motion, really? I like Isaiah Hodgins. Come on, man. I could have made a sandwich, got a drink, and came back before that ball was handed up. I mean, this kid's not that. He's an X. He's an X split end with a lot of capabilities to slide inside, guys, and play that slot role. I thought he was very good as a split end and very good coming out of the slot. As a matter of fact, even though he was running at 4.6, 140, when he was playing in the slot, he did show a little bit of the, abilities and the capability to actually get vertical. Do you think that linebacker might have been a little concerned about defending the slant route? To get into those longer, those longer route stems, guys. He was able to do things like post and seam routes, right? Hit a little corner route. He was even pretty good at selling double moves coming out of the slot, which was something that kind of shocked me because this is a guy with a big frame here, guys. I mean, it's pretty hard when you're a big guy like that to make your body go one way and twist it back the other. Like, it just takes your body a little longer to do that. You know what I mean? He showed an ability to do that. I thought it was impressive. But by no means, guys, please don't confuse me. I'm not saying this guy's a vertical threat, especially from the outside, guys. He does kind of lack the ideal speed you would want to get vertical against your opponents, guys. That's not a very good release off the line of scrimmage, and does nothing to make this corner think this is anything more than a curl or a comeback. Isaiah Hodgins is still early on in his developmental process when it comes to learning how to release off of that line of scrimmage to set defenders up, and he's not a particularly great route runner. Although, there are times on his film, I will caution people, he does show a bit of promise, and he can illustrate that he can get you with a head fake. He's got the ability in there. He just hasn't he hasn't received the right coaching yet to really get that part of his game up. I love the way this kid just manipulates the space the corner gave him and sold that post right back into a corner. The part that's the most surprising and the most concerning, I would say, about Isaiah Hodgins is how to beat man coverage. Because he doesn't have that elite speed, because he's not an elite route runner, and he's not particularly great at the line of scrimmage for releasing, he doesn't gain a lot of separation. We can see him here in the slot facing tight man coverage. He just doesn't have the release off line of scrimmage to separate. So although he has this physical attribute of height and length and this ridiculous athleticism in terms of the ability to have this tremendous catch radius to where even if he's covered, he can make tremendous plays, he's going to struggle with guys who might be a little bit longer in the arms. He's got 33, 34-inch length arms themselves, and guys who have good speed who can stay right on that line of scrimmage with you and challenge you. He's got to learn how to hand fight, guys. He's got to learn how to sink those hips in order to come in and out of a route, so that way he can gain separation from the corner and make himself available for his quarterback. There are subtle things like this on his game film, I'm not going to lie, where he absolutely needs to learn how to do these things better. I'm not here to try to sugarcoat this, guys. I'm not here to try to sell you on a guy who is much more of a developmental prospect than I think a lot of people realize. With that said, man, this kid, sometimes you can have perfect coverage on him. You can have everything set up the way you want it to be set up, and it doesn't matter. He can just win. He can just win because of pure athleticism, and it doesn't matter how tight your coverage is. The kid just goes up with those strong hands, and that big body boxes you out. It makes a play on the ball. One-on-one man coverage. He doesn't gain separation, but still comes up with that football. That's something that, it's within the individual guy if they have that dog in them, that fight in them, and he does. Newton, the quarterback, opts to go with that vertical route, but man, he was open on that in route. All right, ladies and gents, let's talk for a second about why I feel this young man, Isaiah Hodgins, has been misaligned with the way that Oregon State was playing him, okay? Number one, I just don't think that he has the dynamic abilities. I don't think he's a dynamic enough player to be a flanker. I mean, like I said, you could use him on a handful of possessions, try to get a matchup or a mismatch out there. I understand that, especially down in the red zone where you just want to create space for him in the red zone as a big target, give him as much space as you possibly can to get the ball into him. Completely understand that, wouldn't push back against that. But when you're talking about the more vertical and the more explosive routes that are run inside the flanker area, the flanker alignment, I don't see that in him, guys. He's too slow. He's not a good enough route runner. There's just too many variables there with him that I don't think that's the position for him. I don't. This is what I do see from this young man, though, when you talk about X alignment, right? Playing him as a split end. As a split end, I see a kid who's really good on slants, whether it's the shorter route version of the slants or it's the deeper version of the slants. Not quite a post, but deeper than your normal, kind of 5, 7, 10-yard slant there. He's got an ability to pick those kind of plays up and to really wreak havoc on teams. I think that's what makes this kid kind of a dynamic individual is that he could be a really big kind of possession guy, a guy that can really control, time of, your line of scrimmage, helping you with the run game, getting physical with guys, and then also helping you with time of possession because he's just going to help you convert on third downs. He's going to help you pick up, 5, 6, 7 yards on a first down if you're just running a quick little route with him. The other thing I did see from him was comebacks and curls. Those kind of intermediate routes where they're, a lot of times you'll see guys go back shoulder with those things. Look, big guy, big body. He's able to do those. I mean, he looked like an X receiver to me doing those type of routes. Now, if you were to ask me what is one route I didn't see him run a lot on film, and I would have loved to have seen him do more to feel a little more secure in a projection of him as an X-aligned receiver, as a split end, I didn't see a lot of ins and out routes. That simple 10-yard in, 10-yard out route. The thing it's like the first route a lot of us learn how to run when we're like in middle school, or like kind of if you're playing Pop Warner ball or something like that, early kind of later elementary level, right? I didn't see those on films, but I did see him get vertical a few times on corners and on post routes. So I do think there is some hope here that this kid could possibly get vertical on team. Isaiah Hodgins working that comeback route right there. All right, ladies and gents, let's get to the concern. Listen, anytime someone's coming out of the Pac-12, especially the last like 2 years, you got to be a little bit concerned. Because even the two films I just showed you, Oklahoma State and Washington State, Oklahoma State is the 105th ranked pass defense. Washington State, the 116th ranked pass defense. Go past them, guys. You get to Stanford, 117th ranked. Arizona, 118th ranked pass defense. Colorado, the 120th ranked defense. Oregon State, which obviously it's his team, but they were the 123rd ranked pass defense. UCLA, 129th. Arizona State, 110. USC, 93, at least the top 100 pass defense. And then you had two fairly decent pass defenses out there in the Pac-12. You had Washington was ranked 55, so top 60 pass defense, not going to knock them, means that they're fairly good. And then Oregon, which was ranked 47th, so they were a top 50 pass defense. Listen, there's no way of shaping this, guys. The level of competition was pretty bad. So you have to really trust the route running, the hands, what you're seeing to get a feel for this kid. The route running's not impressive. He's got a lot to work with and a lot to work on against teams that weren't that great in pass coverage. So you know you're going to have to coach this kid up. And on top of that, you know, when you do look at the things where he was able to sell and to fake guys, he's not an elite speed guy. He's not that shifty. He's not that great of a route runner. So you do have to be a little concerned here, guys. Like I said, I like the prospect of this kid. I like the talent of this kid. I'm not completely sold on it, though. This is a kid I'm not touching before the 4th round. Way too risky for me, in my opinion. When you get below the 4th round, then I think, hey, maybe there's something to this kid. Maybe you can coach this kid up. There is some raw athleticism with this kid's catch radius. But don't be fooled twice. That would be my warning here. Don't be fooled twice. All right, y'all. You know what time it is. I want to know, what is it that you guys think about this young man? I want to know your opinions. I want to know what you think about Isaiah Hodgins. And you know what time it is, guys. EAGLES. All right, guys. I'll keep trying to pump these videos out for you before the draft.